What's the best way to view mobile documents created in Adobe InDesign? In this video, I'll show you two commonly used methods, Adobe Acrobat Reader and a PDF to flipbook platform. Follow along and learn how to create a 5-page mobile catalog in InDesign and convert the pages into a stunning flipbook viewing experience using Simplebooklet. So let's jump right in and get started. Let's begin by opening the mobile catalog template, which is included with this tutorial. You can find the link in the description below. If I show you the finished product, here's the mobile flipbook we'll be converting later on. It's a 5-page document with a cover, and this is for a fictional company called Woodland Grove. We'll have a main title, a featured image, a description about each project, and some details. We'll also add a more details button. And just so you know, if I go to my properties panel here, the document size for this is 1125 pixels by 2436, just in case you wanted to start from scratch on your own. Let's hop back to the template and I'll click my pages panel. Now the assets for this tutorial are also included in the lesson files. I'll be pulling mine from a CC library that I've created. You can see it here called Woodland Grove Catalog. I have all my images, a logo, and some other assets that I'll be drawing from. As a starting point, I want to add the main cover here from my CC libraries. So I'm just going to click and drag, and here it is in my loaded cursor. The best way to get it into this existing frame that I have in the template is just hold your option, that would be Alt on Windows, and click. That will drop it right into that frame. I'm also going to click on this frame and do Shift, Command, left square bracket to send it to the back. Now because we're going to be adding some text on this image, I want to darken it a bit. For this, I'm going to grab another rectangle frame tool. Now instead of dragging out the size that I want, I'm simply going to click and then put in the dimensions, which I already have here, 1125 by 2436. That's the document size, and click OK. Click your selection tool and then use your alignment tools in the upper right hand corner of your control panel. Just ensure that the alignment is set to the page and not selection. So I'm going to click Align to Page, and then let's click on Horizontal Centers and Vertical Centers. I also want to go to my Swatches panel and make this black, the fill. I'm going to jump over to the Properties panel, and let's click the Effects icon here to add an effect. We're going to add a gradient feather. The feather type will be linear. You could try out radial if you want more of a vignette look, but in this case, I want a linear gradient feather. And I'm going to set the angle to 90 degrees. So you can see that the feather is coming from the bottom up. That's exactly what we want. Now we also want to darken it a little bit. So I'm going to move this slider to the right a little bit, maybe something like 58 for the location. That looks good. We can always come back and change that if we need to, and then click OK. Next, I'm going to add the logo, so I'm going to click back on my CC libraries. I have my logo here in the bottom right hand corner. I'm going to click and drag to drag it onto the page, and I'm just going to drop it on the pasteboard. I'm going to position it so the top snaps to the middle vertical line in the center there. You see that? If I go back up, right there is a good position for the logo. Underneath the logo, we have some text frames. Now, you're probably not going to see them yet. We have to send this gradient feather backward. So let's do that. The easiest way of doing that is hold Command, that's Control on Windows, and then your left square bracket until it's behind the text frames. You can see them now in the front, and I'm able to click on them. We could start adding the copy to our main cover. Again, I've included a text file in the lesson folder, so you can just copy the text and paste it in, and that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to copy the main title here and just paste it in. I've gone ahead and created paragraph styles for you for time's sake as well. You can see them here. This is cover title. Good. I'm going to copy the next part here. It's just a label above the main title. And you can see here there's another text frame above that. Paste that in. Command or Control A to select all. And this one's called Catalog Label. I'm going to click on the selection tool, click away, press W on my keyboard to remove the guides, and you could see that's how the cover will look. I'm going to press W again to put my guides back on, and we can move to page 2. I'm going to go to Pages panel and double click Page 2. Click on CC Libraries, and now I can drag the second image, and you can see it here, Page 2 image. I'm going to click, drag onto the page. Again, hold Option or Alt on Windows, hover over the image frame and click to drop it right in. Next, I'm going to copy the title from the text file provided and paste it in the title frame. That's at the very top of the page. Command or Control A, and this is called title-80 point. I just want to kick over the word modern. It just looks better, so I'm just going to hold Shift and Return to do a soft return there. That's just an aesthetic thing that I like. It fills out the frame a little bit better. I'm going to copy the words about the project, and I'm going to paste it in this small frame under the image. Command or Control A to select that, and this is called about the project. I'm going to select the details and the features of the project, and I'm going to paste it in this large frame here. I'm going to select all of it and choose Project Intro. I'm going to select the last 4 lines, and this will be Project Specs. And you can see this has lines in between each line of text as well. Good, so that page is done. You can see working in a template makes things a lot easier. Let's move on to page 3. And it'll be the same concept here. I'm going to go to my CC Libraries, and I have page 3 image, which I'm going to drag. And you can see in this version, the image is at the bottom. Hold Option or Alt on Windows and click to drop that in. Let's copy the title from the text file and paste it in the frame above. Command Control A, and this will be title-80 point. Again, I'm just going to kick over the word modern, Shift, Return for a soft return. I'm going to copy the words about the project, paste that here, and this will be about the project. Same thing, let's select the details as well as the features of the project and paste that into that frame there. And as a starting point, just make all the text here Project Intro, then select the 4 lines below, and this is Project Specs. Good, we've done 2 pages already. Let's move on. Double click page 4. I'm going to go back to my CC Libraries, and here's the 4th image, page 4 image. Click drag. By the way, you would use the same concept. Drag it from your desktop or the folder that I've provided onto the workspace, and you'll see that it's in a loaded cursor. Now, if you're in a Windows environment, dragging and dropping is not as seamless as Mac-based, so I suggest going to File and Place, and then you'll have the same setup where the image will be loaded in your cursor. Hold Option, Alt on Windows, click in the frame. I'm going to go select the title for this one and paste it in the title frame. Command Control A to select all, and this is title. I'm going to kick over the word modern. I'm going to copy about the project and paste that here. Command A, about the project. Select the text, the details and the specs for the Warwick Modern Home build. Paste it in this frame. Command Control A, and this is Project Intro. Select the last 4 lines, and it's Project Specs. Now, you could also just copy and paste the frames over and then just replace the text that way, but because I've already added the frames to the template, it's just as simple. We can move on to the last page in the document here. I'm going to select the title for this one, and I'm going to paste it in the last frame here, the last title frame. Command A, and this will be title-80 point. Let's copy about the project and paste it in this frame here. Command A, about the project. And then finally select all the details and the specs, Command Control C, and paste that in here. Command A to select all. Project intro from the paragraph styles. Select the last 4 lines and choose Project Specs. Now we have to add that image, so I'm going to click page 5 image in my CC Libraries, drag onto the workspace, hold Option, and click into the image. I'm also going to kick over the word modern in the title up top. And let's take a look at all the pages now. If I go to the Pages panel, double click page 1, you can press Shift W on your keyboard to go into presentation mode, and you can see that we've created this very simple mobile catalog that will now export as a PDF. To export the PDF, let's go up to File and choose Export. In the Format dropdown, choose Adobe PDF Print. Then go ahead and click Save. Now, Simplebooklet has some guidelines for exporting PDFs to their platform, so we're going to set this up based on what their requirements are. In the Adobe PDF preset, let's choose Smallest File Size. In the Compatibility dropdown, I like to choose Acrobat 8/9. Let's export all the pages as single pages. Ensure that Optimize for Fast Web View is also checked on. Under the Export Layers dropdown, let's choose Visible Layers. Now, the template does have hyperlinks set up in one of the buttons, and that's just to demonstrate that the hyperlinks will carry over from InDesign to PDF to Simplebooklet. So in this case, let's check on hyperlinks under the Include category down below. Now, we're not quite done yet. We have to click on Compression on the left side menu, and we're going to set all the pixels per inch fields to 150. And under Image Quality, let's set that to High. I'm just going to set the other fields to 150 and the image quality to High. Once you've done that, you can click OK. You can also save this as a preset. You can see if I go to my Adobe PDF presets, I already had one set up. This way it'll save you time when you're exporting a PDF, so you don't have to go through this process a second time. I'm going to go ahead and click Export, and now we can view the PDF in the Adobe Acrobat app. Before we jump over to the Acrobat Reader, you can download the mobile app for iOS or Android to follow along. I've included the links in the description below. I have the PDF on my mobile device and I want to view it in the Adobe Acrobat Reader. You're going to have to download this app for iOS or Android. You can see I already have mine, so I'm just going to tap on it to open it. And you can see that if I go to my iPhone files, there it is as the first document, the first PDF. It's going to open in continuous view, so there are a couple viewing options when you're viewing on mobile device. So I'm going to tap on the top 3 dots, and if I go to View Settings, right now you can see it's set up as continuous. I can tap on Single Page, and I'll be able to view this as a side swipe. So I can swipe from left to right to view the pages in the PDF. However, if I go back to Continuous under View Settings, Continuous, you can see you get more of a filled screen, which looks nice, and you can scroll up and down. So it's all personal preference when you're viewing the PDF in Acrobat Reader for mobile. Next, let's upload the same PDF to Simplebooklet and view it again on mobile. I'm in the simplebooklet.com dashboard, and I'm going to click on Upload File and then choose Upload File from Computer. Here's the PDF we exported from InDesign. And go ahead and click Open. That'll take a few moments to upload. Once it does, you'll be asked to choose a page transition effect. Now let's just say you wanted to have 2 versions of this, a desktop viewing experience and a mobile viewing experience. Let's start with a desktop version. So in this case, I'm going to choose Page Curl. This will only be visible when viewed on desktop because we're going to change the transition for mobile later on. So with Page Curl selected, go ahead and click Convert. Now that's going to convert now based on the size of your document and the size of the PDF. That once again will take a few moments to work its magic. Here's the flipbook in preview mode, and I can flip through it using the arrowheads to the right and the left to navigate through, but we can also make some aesthetic changes built into Simplebooklet as well. You can see up top there are a few tabs: Edit, Design, Record. Let's focus on Design. Go ahead and click that. That'll open up the design tools. You can always change your flip transition, and we'll do that later on for the mobile effect. But let's focus our attention now on presentation. Because this cover is dark, I don't want the background to be dark. So I'm going to click this pencil icon to edit the background. Now you could choose a simple light color, maybe an off-white or a gray. Before I do that, there's some other options down below. There are some patterns. Again, something light might work in my case. There are images. You could choose a license-free image from the Unsplash library. There's also animated backgrounds, or you can choose a custom background of your own. I'm going to circle back to maybe a solid color, scroll down. Now because this is a mobile presentation and I want the focus to be on the pages themselves and not so much the background, I'm going to choose one of these lighter grays, off-whites, maybe something like this. And you can see that the cover really pops out a lot more. Once I've done that, I can go ahead and close this window. And you can see we have a nice light background and the cover is more visible. Another cool feature built into Simplebooklet is the ability to add your logo to the project. This is cool if you have a brand, something like a magazine, or even something like a catalog or brochure that you regularly publish. Putting your company logo in there is a good idea. I'm not going to do that today. Another cool feature here is the nav bar layout. You can see down below I have a navigation bar. There are some different options for that. So there's essential, modern, minimalist, header, footer only, or leave it blank. I do like the reveal option for mobile because it reveals up and down as you're navigating through. You also have the option to add an opacity to the header. So something like this might work, a 15% opacity. You can see that changing up top, as well as the footer down below. You can see that change, so something like 60%. So it goes from dark black to a light gray with the opacity. You also have the ability to choose the font that you want, Roboto, Product Sans, Arial, and so on. I'm going to leave it on the default setting here and click Done. Now you can always click this preview button in the upper right hand corner to view a larger version of the project. You can see it here with the navigation bar adjustments that we added, and we can flip through it with the desktop version and the page curl transition. Very cool. I'm going to close that, and now that I have my desktop version set, I'm going to go back to page flip. A couple of things as we were working through this. You probably heard a page flip sound as well. That is optional. If you want to turn it off, you can do that. There are some other options here: book, magazine, paper. I'm going to choose none for this and then click Done. And under the page transition, go ahead and click the pencil icon. Now this is very cool. We can adjust the transition for the mobile viewing experience. Remember, we have the page curl set for desktop. Down below you have a setting here for mobile flip transition. Go ahead and click that. Then click single page because we want more of a traditional swipe action as we're viewing this on a mobile device. The two I recommend are slide up or parallax up. I'm going to choose the latter, parallax up. When you hover over one of these options, you could see a little preview of the transition, which is helpful and nice. And then I'm going to click Done. Now we can look at the mobile version of our flipbook. Here's the flipbook launched in my mobile web browser, and as a first step, I can use the down arrow key to navigate down the flipbook, and I can use the up arrow to go back up. If I open up the navigation bar, you have some other options here to download a PDF. So I can download a PDF of the flipbook. Just keep in mind that the flip transitions won't work at that point, but you can still look at it in Acrobat Reader as we did earlier on. Let me close that. You also have some options to share the project. So you can share on social, you can email, embed, you can copy the link if you like. I'm going to close that. You also notice an option there to message the owner of the flipbook if you'd like to get in contact with them. And there's also a button there for contact information. So there's some really cool features built into the navigation bar. If I go back to the project, I also have the ability to swipe myself without using the navigation buttons, so I can swipe up, or swipe down to make my way through the project. Thanks for watching, and I hope you can use these techniques in your next InDesign mobile project. If you'd like to learn more about InDesign and digital flipbooks, then check out these videos right here. Until next time, take care and keep creating.